Chiesa or Berardi? Chiesa is starting over Berardi, so I would take Chiesa anytime. Should I keep Thiago Marlet? I wouldn't take a hit to go for Marlet if you have like either a wild card or you have the luxury of just taking a free transfer because somehow your players didn't get knocked out last week. I would go for Marlet, yeah, for sure. Marlet's far more attacking. Honestly, if Marlet was 6 mil, I might consider him. He's got 0.34 expected goal involvement per 90. That's ridiculously good for a wing back. Ridiculously good. Who is your goalkeeper? Donnarumma. My stream is back up on YouTube. If you guys want to go, head over to my YouTube channel. If you go to my YouTube channel, I'll talk you through all the options I'm considering for my team and based on who's starting. So for example, I have one option I'll go for if we find out that De Bruyne isn't starting before the deadline. I have another option I'll go for if we find out that Sarabia is not starting before the deadline. I have different teams for each scenario. If you want to see all the teams I'm considering and to see which team I lock in at the end, you should go to my YouTube channel, which is linked to my TikTok. It's FPL_Liam, just like my TikTok name. Go over to there, and you can see all the teams I'm considering. So head over to my YouTube stream. The other thing I'll say about my YouTube is if you want me to review your team, so if you want me to go, you can DM me your team on Instagram, and then go to my YouTube stream, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and say in the chat, I subscribed with your @ on Instagram that you used to DM me a screenshot of your team. So DM me a screenshot of your team, head over to my YouTube channel, which is FPL_Liam, subscribe, tell me that you subscribed in the chat, and put your @ to your Instagram. I'll find all the ats from there, go to the Instagram DMs, and I'll look at the team, if you want help in your team. Why Sarabia over an English midfielder? Because Sarabia's attacking stats are unbelievable. He's got 1.09 expected goal involvement per 90, which is more than double what Sterling has, for example. Sterling has 0.45. So 1.09 versus 0.45. Sarabia plays a worse defense as well. Switzerland are far worse defensively than Ukraine. Switzerland have conceded something like 1.7 expected goals. Ukraine have conceded per 90. Ukraine 1.25. So I back Spain to score more goals than I back England to, which is why I'd rather go for Sarabia over Sterling or over Grealish. Sorry, if I could afford Sterling, I'd go for him just because I back England to make it to the final. So it's worth getting Sterling in your team this week. I need a midfielder. You probably almost definitely can afford Sarabia, so I would say go for him if he's starting. Is Locatelli starting? I'm not sure, but it doesn't really matter because I wouldn't take him anyway, even if he was starting. He's not a good fantasy option, in my opinion. Is it too risky to have 5 Spanish and 5 English players? I'm going to assume you have a wild card. On a wild card, I don't think it is. If you saved your wild card for the quarterfinal, chances are you're lower ranked than people who used it in the group stage, which means you need to take risks to raise your rank up. So a risk you could take is to go 5 English, 5 Spanish. It's either going to go very well or you're going to crash and burn. But you're not going to get a high rank if you don't take risks on your wild card, if you saved it until this point. Best front 3, I would say Kane, Lukaku, Morata, maybe Kane, Immobile, Morata. Top 5 must-haves for this week, probably Kane, Morata, Sterling, Sarabia, and Torres. What's your views on 7 out of 8 officials being German? I doubt a ref is going to be biased against England just because England beat Germany. I'm not worried about it too much. Grealish or Damsgaard? Grealish for sure, especially if we know that Grealish is starting. Chiesa starting? He is. I just don't have my wild card, so I'm stuck with Berardi. I have no choice. Best cheap defenders, Marley by far. Okay, let me head over to my YouTube channel, which is FPL_Liam, see which people have DM'd me their teams and subscribed, and I'll take a look at your team. Let's see. We have _F_F Keen. There we go, _F Keen. Let's head over to the DMs. So this guy has Harry Kane, Immobile, Morata, Grealish, Sarabia, Insigne, Damsgaard, Alba, Spinazzola, Marla, Donnarumma, Hugo Lloris. Okay, the bench is all knocked out other than Luke Shaw. This team looks very good, quite similar to mine. I'd probably rather have his team over mine because he's not got Berardi. He's actually got Sarabia, Grealish, Damsgaard, and Insigne. So yeah, your team is really good. I wouldn't change anything about it. I think you're making the right transfers. Try to see if you know that Grealish is starting before you finalize the team. it might be worth, there's not much else you can do. Yeah, I think it's worth taking the risk on Grealish. So yeah, your team is very good, mate. Again, if you want me to look at your team, go to my YouTube stream, which is FPL_Liam. It's linked on my YouTube, on my TikTok profile. DM me on Instagram as well, and then type in the chat, DM me a screenshot of your team. Go to the chat on YouTube, put your @ on Instagram that you used to DM me, and tell me that you subscribed. I'm only going to look at people's teams if they subscribe to my YouTube channel. Immobile or Schick? Immobile. On a limitless, it might go Schick, but on a wild card or just a transfer, I'd go for Immobile. What's the odds on Grealish starting? I have him. You can see me now. I'm going to go on Twitter and see what the news is on Grealish. Apparently, no one has had team news for England yet, so I'm not sure. I'd probably say it's around a 50-50. Who is your middle defender? Spinazzola. Is Dolberg a decent choice if you only have 7 mil? Yeah, if you only have 7 mil for a striker, Dolberg is a good choice. I think there's a decent chance of him starting. It's probably worth taking the risk. If we find out in like 10 minutes that Gerard Moreno is starting, he could be a good option for 6.5 mil as well. His stats are quite good. Let me show you. Again, anyone on my YouTube stream can see this. I'm on FBref. I'm going to look at Gerard Moreno's stats. I think he's got 0.65. Let's see if my memory serves me well. Yeah, he's got 0.6 Spain in the Euros, which again is insanely good. That's better than Kane, better than Sterling, about as good as Morata. So if he's starting and you need a budget striker, Gerard Moreno could be a good shout. Worth taking -8 to get Sterling? No, because think about it. If you take a -8 to get Sterling, you'd need Sterling to get a goal and an assist just to start making profit. So it's not worth it. Did you take a hit for Shaw? Again, I haven't confirmed it yet, but if I get Shaw in, it would have to be for a hit. But I think it's justified because I see England beating Ukraine, which means I'll have Shaw for 2 match days or 2 weeks, right? Where he could get a clean sheet. 1 clean sheet from Shaw gets me a profit, basically.